good evening, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are joining us from. Thank you all for being with us. We're happy to see such a healthy number of attendees. We're hoping that after today's session, you will learn more about how valuable the CMA certification is for usual business, and bust the myth that this is a certification that is typically only for accountants. We hope that at the end of today, you will understand how the CMA is very valuable to anyone aspiring to become a proficient manager in their function, be it in accounting typically or in any other function within a business. I have our star, Mr. Elie Farah, who will be introducing himself shortly to you as well and sharing his personal experience in how to apply the CMA on daily tasks, as well as his personal experience undergoing the CMA and how it changed his personal life. So without further ado, we're going to move forward with the journey. Again, I repeat, please, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. We will cover them as we go, and we will have also another section closer to the end where you can actually post more questions that we did not cover throughout, and we will be more than glad to answer them for you. So a quick brief of who we are as Morgan International. Many of you probably already know us, some of you may not. So we've been in the certification preparation courses for more than 30 years. We cover almost the entire globe with over 28 locations across the different continents. And we've so far very proudly graduated more than 150,000 certification holders to date. We provide certification training, soft skills trainings, professional workshops, and in-house trainings for corporations. We pride ourselves in having one of the most diverse portfolios in the entire region, where our historical strength is in accounting and finance, but we've also been very strong in delivering certifications in human resources, supply chain, and digital marketing. Coincidentally, it's something that I will also be very proud to share with you that just today we received the acknowledgement from SHRM organization that we are the top provider across the region with the SHRM certification, and we have been for a few years with SHRM, with the ASCM for supply chain, with DMI for digital marketing, as well as many of our partners and providers for accounting and finance certifications as well. So also one of our most proud moments is the number of corporates or organizations who trust us to upskill their employees. I'm pretty sure if you look at that, you will recognize many corporations from your personal fields and as well as your locations. I'm not going to name any so I don't forget anybody. And without further ado, let's move forward to talking about the CMA certification in itself. So the CMA is provided by a global organization, US-based, called the IMA, the Institute of Management Accountants. It has over 140,000 certified members across the globe with over 300 chapters, and chapters are their local, if you want, offices in the different locations, from US to the Far East to Europe, as well as within the Middle East. A very trusted organization and a very trustworthy certification. So what do you actually get with the CMA? Definitely, besides a global benchmark, you will learn 12 core practices in management accounting, and it will help you apply all these practices in your decision making, strategic thinking, leadership, which Elie will walk you through on how to apply them on daily basis. So it makes sure to tell employers that you have the skills and capacities to lead and excel in your jobs, whether it's an accounting job, a sales job, a management job, a supervisory job. It will make a lot of difference. So what do CMAs do on their jobs? So you prepare and analyze financial data. You're not required to issue financial statements for the company. That's the auditor or public accountant or chief accountant of the company that does that. But if you are a manager, if you're hoping for a seat at the high table, you need to be able to analyze data, not just look at reports and read figures. You need to be able to plan, budget, forecast. You need to make a working capital, manage a working capital and analyze financial alternatives. So Elie will walk you through a lot of these details and how to apply them on daily basis. So once you hold a CMA, where can you work? You can work in a non-governmental organization. You can work in a governmental organization. Multinationals definitely value such certifications, especially with their international recognizability and the type of skills you learn on such certifications. So what you actually need to do is you need to submit an application to the IMA, become a member, study for your CMA exam, which Morgan International and Elie and similar instructors can help you achieve. Then you have to schedule your exams and pass them, and you will be able to earn your certification if you hold certain eligibility criteria. So a lot of people can actually undergo the CMA even before you hold a bachelor's degree. So if you're a university student, you can actually apply for your CMA exams. But to earn those 3 valuable letters to put next to your name, as you can see, my colleague Elie here, you have Elie Farah, CPA, CMA, MBA, hopefully eventually a PhD as well. So to be able to earn that title, you need to earn that license, and that requires certain years of experience in addition to a bachelor's degree after you've passed your actual exams, and you can acquire those within 7 years after passing your exams. So once you become a CMA, they need to make sure that you keep yourself up to date, which is why every year you need to have acquired 30 continuous professional education credits. You can acquire those by taking few accredited courses. If you still are an IMA member, there are a lot of activities and seminars that you can attend that will also earn you such credits, and you will renew your CMA every year to be able to keep those 3 letters next to your name, and that will tell your future employers and even your current employers as well that you are keeping up to date, you are maintaining those skills, and you are making sure that you are abreast of all the progresses that are in the field of management accounting, and you can apply them on your everyday job. So what does the CMA exam entail? As we mentioned earlier, there are 12 core practices that you will learn. In part 1, these are the 6 that you will actually go through. Let me just to name a few: performance management, cost management, technology, and analytics. They are distributed equally. So there is not like one topic that is all about financial or managerial accounting and the rest are accessories. They are all almost equally as valuable. We recommend about 150 hours of study and preparation for you to be able to be confident in passing part 1. And then there is part 2 that entails another 6 different topics in the area of management accounting. And you can notice from the reading of the topics, so if I go back to part 1, look at the topics, and again, if I go to part 2, they are not interrelated. So basically, there's no requirement for you to take part 1 before part 2 or vice versa. It depends on which topics you are more familiar with is our recommendation for you to actually start with. And Elie will also elaborate earlier on how he personally prepared for his CMA as well. So the CMA exam can be taken in 3 different windows across a year. It's not available all year round. So between January and February, in a window of about 2 to 3 weeks, the exam will be available for you to take. If you don't make that window, then the next available window for the exam is between May and June, and then September and October. So you have quite a few months to prepare for each part, and you can take every part in a different window. The exam itself is not that complicated, and a little detail that a lot of people miss, and sometimes they worry like, can I pass the CMA exam? I'm just going to give you a very small tip. If you look at this slide, it's a 4 hours exam, and for the first 3 hours you have 100 multiple choice questions. Okay, those 100 multiple choice questions, your score on these questions is 75% of your score on the exam. And you need to actually answer 50% of these questions correctly before you move to the second part of the exam, which is the essay questions. Okay. Now, just a small mathematical calculation. If you answer 50 questions correctly out of 100, that's automatically, because it's 75% of the total exam weight, that's automatically a 66% of your total exam score. So all you need is an additional 6% on the second part of the exam to actually pass. So if you're well prepared, and Elie will give you a lot of insight on those in just a few, this is not a difficult exam to pass, but it will make the world of a difference in your career. So as we mentioned earlier, you need 360 over 500 to pass the exam, which is a 72 percentile. And if you score 50% of your MCQs correctly, that's 75% of your total score, which is actually 66 out of that 72 percentile that you need. And once you finish your exam, the results will be shared by the IMA 6 weeks closer to the end of the month in which you took that exam. So we do recommend you set a proper study plan to make sure you have the confidence to undergo and actually undertake the exam. So decide which part you want to take first. There's on Becker website, for example, which is our provider for the CMA, they do have a video, which part first. So it does help you consider what to think about to decide which one you want to take first. And then again, it is not really rocket science. The topics are very clear on each of the parts. So if you are more familiar with either of the topics, depending on your personal background, be it in accounting, finance, or business, you might be more familiar with either topics in either part. You can also go to the IMA website and look at the content specification outline, and it will also help you understand which part contains what topics in terms of subtopics as well. So you will be able to identify which ones you would be more confident with. And while you prepare, the IMA also provide a learning outcome document so that you can really pinpoint by checking the boxes of all the necessary learning outcomes that you need to have really collected before you can identify if you're fully ready to take on the exam. So how do you prepare for the exam? Where do we come from? Where do we come in as Morgan International? So we pride ourselves in being one of the longest standing IMA Platinum partners for the CMA course, which means that registering with Morgan, eventually you will benefit from a very specific promo code that is only available for Platinum partners, such as Morgan, that will allow you a discount on all the additional IMA fees necessary to take your exam. So like the registration fees, the exam fees, all the fees payable to the IMA, you can benefit from a considerable discount if you register through Morgan, being a Platinum course provider. And we are also the longest standing partner with Becker for the study material. So the reason I'm focusing on Becker on the following slides is to really pinpoint all the resources that Becker makes available for you in your preparation for the CMA. And I'm not going to be much longer about this. I'm going to give the floor to Elie very shortly. So the CMA exam review, it develops a very personalized learning experience for you with Becker, with what we call an adapt to you technology. This is, everyone is familiar with AI, but AI is not only emerging in the last 4 or 5 years. AI has been pretty much in use for over 16 years, but in very, if you want, simple forms, one of which is the Adapt to You technology that Becker had embedded in their learning system. The Adapt to You technology actually monitors your performance when you're using that learning system, which contains videos, MCQs, reading documentation, quizzes, etc. And the system monitors your weaknesses, where you're getting most wrong answers in which topics, and it will continue to tackle you with questions from these topics to make sure you become stronger in these topics while you prepare for your exam. And whenever the IMA releases any update on the exam blueprint, Becker definitely updates its multiple choice questions, its essays, its contents, for you to be able to keep up with the exam preparation. And moreover, they offer two different packages, the Advantage and the Pro package. The Advantage package gives you a 2-year access to the learning system for you to prepare, which you will notice is more than enough time for you to actually pass. If you prefer to take your time more with a longer period, the Pro provides you with an unlimited access, which starts off as 5 years, and it's free, extendable, free of charge later on, as long as you continue to provide proof of study. And if you choose to take those with Morgan classes, preparation classes for the CMA, the Pro package provides you with a 2-year option to attend classes, while the Advantage package gives you a 1-year option to attend classes. And then in the software itself, the Becker software, you have a proficiency badge which keeps telling you how well you're doing on either topic. So it's just like a 3-star that continues to fill in percentages. So you will know if you are really capable of answering any questions within a particular topic, or if you're still lagging on one to like really study it better. It gives you personalized review sessions with an embedded AI. And I'm just in the next slide, I'm gonna explain the newly introduced Newt AI. And you have unlimited practice tests, because it's very important. One of the things Elie will highlight, for you to really try exams previously to familiarize yourself with how to answer exam questions and move forward on that one. Newt is the 2025 most recent introduction to the Becker software, which is an AI, a fully automated AI academic assistant. But the key to Newt is that it's not your standard AI, which fetches information from here and there and just gives you back those references. Newt is an interactive AI, so you can ask it any question you want. It doesn't have to be predefined. You can ask it to explain a concept for you. It will actually elaborate a certain content within the material and explain it for you using examples. You can ask it to give you, for example, professional examples. It will, but it is a closed source AI that is restricted to the Becker content. It will not fetch information. It's not an open source AI. It is a closed source AI, but it is very interactive. It does not require predefined prompts, and it will not give you just predefined responses. It will adapt to the way you like to learn, and it will actually interact with you as if it's your own personal assistant. Now, without further ado, thank you for bearing with me. I'm gonna deliver the platform to Elie, who's gonna really put all this information to practice for you and really help you understand. Okay, so a beautiful certification, excellent learnings, but where do I actually cash it in? Elie, the platform is yours.
Yes, hey everyone, and thank you, Shar, for the introduction. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Elie Farah. I have 16 years of experience in accounting, finance, and audit. I hold a bachelor degree in accounting and audit, a master's degree in banking and finance. I'm a certified public accountant, CPA, and a certified management accountant, CMA. Currently, I'm working as a senior finance manager in a multinational company called ATFX, located in Dubai, with head office in Hong Kong. And I started teaching CPA and CMA back in 2018, 8 years ago. So I will start where Shar stopped. So first, I want to talk about Becker. For my personal experience before starting CMA Part 1, what topics we have and how you can apply it in your daily, day-to-day job. Becker software is one of the best software on the market. For myself, from my personal experience, I use Becker for both my certification to get my CMA and my CPA certification. And comparing myself to my friends who were using other software to prepare their CMAs and CPAs, I had a big advantage, and that was 8 years ago. Imagine now with all this AI, in addition to all this development to Becker software that happened on a yearly basis 8 years ago till date, I think you will be having, I'm sure you are having the best software in addition to Morgan videos and weekly sessions. I'm 100% sure that you will be the best place to have your CPA and CMA certification. So As Shar were discussing, we will start what CMA covers and how you will be using it in your daily life. So, as he mentioned, CMA has two parts. In first part one, it has six sections. The first section, your CMA part one, will be talking about covering external financial reporting and decisions, which include financial statements. What are the financial statements? We're talking about balance sheet here. We're talking about P&L. We're talking about cash flow statement, change in shareholder equity statement. We're not just about talking about them. We're talking about how to prepare them, how to analyze them, how to read numbers, not just the numbers in front of us, what we have current assets, what we have non-current assets, what are our liabilities, what is our equity. You need to understand, to analyze, and to take decision or help your management or the owner of the companies where you work to really understand these financials and take decision based on these financials. So first part, talk about financial statements, how we prepare financial statement, how we read financial statement, how we analyze financial statement. We'll be talking, as I said, about revenue recognition under P&L, how we recognize our revenue, about inventory valuation in our balance sheet, how we value our inventory. We'll be using like average cost, weighted average cost. We'll be using FIFO. We'll be talking about long-term asset, how we do the depreciation, accelerated depreciation, double declining, straight line depreciation. We'll be talking about income tax, our income before tax, and how we apply tax, and how we can reduce tax and pay less tax, and how we do the calculation, how we'll be applying this first part in our day-to-day application. As I said, this will be helping us to prepare financial statement, to analyze company performance, and to review our revenue and expense, and to give recommendations. So you will be moving from bookkeeping level to decision level to recommendation level. So you'll be moving from junior position to senior position and to managerial position. For example, you will be reviewing your monthly P&L and balance sheet to explain, for example, profit change, why our profit increased this month, why our cost of goods sold increased, why our salaries increased, why our net income is like decreased compared to last quarter. The second section under part one will be the planning and budgeting forecasting. Under this section, you will learn how to prepare budget, the three types of budget: incremental budget, zero-based budget, and flexible budget. You will learn about forecasting techniques and variance analysis. So how you use this or how you apply this into your day-to-day job. This will help you first prepare monthly budget, quarterly budget, semi-annual budget, annual budget, then updating this budget, and the most important thing is comparing the actual result to this budget and analyzing why you got this difference, why we were expecting higher sale and we got less sale. Is this related to market? Is this related to our product? So in all this, you will be developing your critical thinking. You're not just doing day-to-day bookkeeping. So as we said, you will be using this in your daily life, first to prepare budget, and second to compare actual budget to actual expenses to the budgeted expenses, and then to analyze in case you have any variances. Section 3 under CMA Part 1, we'll be talking about performance management, which includes the costing system, job costing, process costing, ABC costing system. So purely into inventory, into each section of your cost, like how much the factory is costing you, how much the head office is costing you. In case there's variances, how to analyze. We're expecting like our production factory to cost us, or to use, let's say, 1 ton of raw material for $1 million. We use 2 ton. What's the problem? There's waste. There's let's say the quality of the material you are purchasing is not good. The labor is not good. So also it will help you to analyze your cost and check for variances, and also, as we said, to advise the management how you can reduce this cost, how to get or to take better decision. How you apply in your day to day, as we said, it's monitored each department performance, as we said, the factory performance, the head office performance, the labor performance. It helps us to calculate cost variances and design KPIs for each team. The labor and factories will have KPIs, HR and the head office will have its own KPIs, and each department will have its own KPIs based on this performance management, which we evaluate cost and we evaluate income, and we put KPIs based on this cost and income. The fourth part under CMA Part 1, it will be related to Part 3, which is also cost management. We'll be studying fixed cost, we'll be studying variable cost, and we'll be studying mixed cost. What goes under fixed cost? What goes under variable cost? Break even. How much company need to produce to reach the break even point? Marginal analysis, which each product, what is its profitability, what is its cost. Okay, so how we apply this? We apply it when we are putting the pricing. If you are, let's say, production manager, so you will be using this to do the pricing. You need to know your fixed cost, your variable cost, and your mixed cost, so you can calculate your total cost. You can elaborate your break-even point and fix your selling price. Fifth section under CMA Part 1 will be internal control, which will be including risk assessment under each department or each activity. What risk we might face or we might have, also like fraud prevention, by putting many layers of control, each risk at each level of activity, how we might reduce this risk by increasing internal control. And you will be having also idea about an internal audit and how internal audit works. Okay, for example, you will be starting implementing approval controls for vendor payments. Like if you are working in the payable department, so you will be putting layers of control. The employee will send approval, let's say, for his manager. The manager will send approval for, let's say, head of department. The head of department, after reviewing, will send approval for CEO. So we'll be having more controls, which will increase your risk of mistake and also the risk of fraud. Section number 6 under CMA Part 1 will be technology and analytics. Of course, because today's we are in AI era where everything is related to technology. So you will be studying ERP system, how it works, how you can use these systems for business analytics, how you can do what system you can use, and how you prepare data visualization. So of course, when you have data, you need to show it in a way that everyone will understand it, the shareholder will understand it, the employee will understand it, everyone in the company will understand. So you don't only need to prepare the data and to have accurate data, you need also to know how to visualize this data. Okay, for example, creating a Power BI dashboard for management. So these are the 6 sections under CMA Part 1. Moving from Part 1 to Part 2. Under CMA Part 2, which talk about strategic financial management, under section number 1, we'll be talking about financial statement analysis. So in section number 1 in CMA Part 1, we talked about the preparation. What are the financial statement? How we prepare financial statement. Here we will be talking about how we analyze financial statement, like analysis, like profitability ratios, like liquidity ratios, solvency ratios. We'll be talking about, let's say, return on equity, return on assets, current ratio, cash ratio. Okay, so you will be analyzing all this financial statement that you prepared, of course, to take decisions based on this financial statement. So how you apply this in your day-to-day job? You will be using this to analyze the financial health of your company. Also, it will help you support your investment decision and presenting also recommendation to your management. Section number 2 under CMA part 2 will be corporate finance. So as you see, CMA, despite that it is abbreviation for certified management accountant, okay, but also will be taking a small part of finance and corporate finance. So it's covered everything, not only accounting, it covers accounting, management, and finance. So under corporate finance, we'll be talking about time value of money, which include like not present value of the money, how you calculate the present value of future, let's say $1 million in 2027 doesn't have the same value in 2026. How you overrate the investment you have. Let's say you have two, three investment and limited cash flow. So which investment you will choose to where you will choose to invest your money in? The investment that has the highest cash flow, or the investment that have the highest rate of return, the investment that has highest, let's say, net profit, or the investment that have the lowest payback period. So all of this you will be studying it under corporate finance, in addition to your cost of capital. So which include you will be having capital from where? From debt or from issuing, let's say, more stocks. So what is the cost of issuing more additional capital by using stocks, or what is the cost of having additional capital by going to debt, let's say private debt to banks? Okay. Section number 3 under CMA part 2 will be decision analysis. Same, it will be related to analyzing your cost, analyzing your income, analyzing your profitability, your productivity. So it include everything, and more particularly sensitivity analysis, which is you will be projecting 2 3 scenarios. If I increase my sales by 10%, what will happen for my cost of goods sold? If I increase marketing by 10%, what will happen to my sales? So all of this you will be applying into your strategic decision support and scenario modeling, because it's all based on what if. So again, it's taking you from junior positions to managerial position, from day-to-day bookkeeping to critical and strategic planning. Under section 4 from CMA part 2, we'll be talking also about risk management. So as we said, CMA doesn't cover only accounting, it cover also management, critical thinking, it cover corporate finance, and also risk management, which could include enterprise risk management, financial risk like credit risk, currency risk, market risk, how you reduce this risk, by example, for hedging. So you can also apply this in your day today application. For example, if you are working in multinational company and you have many currencies, let's say AED, USD, GBP, how you can reduce the currency fluctuation risk. So all of this example about risk management. This one is about currency risk, but we'll be taking also market risk, credit risk, industry risk, all this type of risk. Section number 5 in CMA part 2 will be talking about investment decision. As we said, if you had certain capital, how you will be choosing to investment number 1 instead of investment number B, investment A instead of investment B. Okay, so as we said, this will help you also to increase your strategic planning and your long-term thinking and decisions. And the last section in your CMA part 2 will be talking about professional ethics. So of course, without ethics, all what we talked about doesn't make any sense. Either risk, or how you prepare your financial statement, how you analyze your cost, how you prepare budget. If you don't have the professional ethics, then all of this what we discussed doesn't make any sense. So under professional ethic, we'll be talking, CMA will be covering ethical decision making, confidentiality, and what are the integrity standard. An example in your day-to-day application or in your day-to-day job, by let's say one of your ethical decision if refusing to manipulate financial report or to have wrong financial report or overstated or understated financial report. So in summary, CMA will help you in daily work by increasing your strategic thinking, analyzing numbers beyond bookkeeping. You will be supporting in business decision. You will help your company improve its profitability, and you will be managing risk more effectively. So we'll move to the next slide. So next slide, we'll be talking about CMA study plan and tips. So we'll talk in general, then I will be sharing with you my personal experience. Our suggested study plan for part 1 and part 2 are 120 to 150 hours per part, and the duration based on this 120 to 150 hours per part, the duration each part should take 3 to 4 months for you to be ready to present the part. If we break down this 120 to 150 hours, this will be around 8 to 12 hours per week, which is 1.5 to 2 hours per day. Okay, so you need to put 1 to 2 hours of study each day, fully committed. What we recommend to start by your textbook, reading the textbook provided by Becker, in addition to attending the weekly sessions by Morgan instructors. After reading the book and attending the sessions and taking your notes, you can move to completing the MCQs, which Becker has the biggest MCQs in the market, biggest MCQ bank in the market. So you start completing your MCQ. So you finished one chapter, you attended the training sessions, you start doing the MCQ. In the next slide, personal experience, I will be elaborate more how I used this strategy to pass my CMA exam. After you finish all the MCQs, you start by practicing the essay, which is 25% of your total score in your CMA. Once you studied by the book, you attend, you finished all your sessions, you finished all your MCQ, you did all your essays. Now you can sit for mock exam, which simulate the exam condition before the test date. Our tips for success are: first, you need to set a study schedule. It means what? You need to allocate a fixed times on a daily and a weekly basis for your CMA study. CMA is not about studying 2 hours on Monday, then studying again 4 hours on the next Monday. This should be a daily journey, same as you are eating, working, and sleeping. Even if it is for 30 minutes per day, you need to go into this routine, and you have to have full commitment for the next 3-4 months. Otherwise, your probability of passing your CMA exam will be low. So you need to have full commitment, even if it is 30 minutes per day. Second tip is you need to focus on your high-weighted topics, which means prioritize section with larger exam percentage. This a tip if you don't have enough time to fully prepare for your CMA exam. But if you have time, you need to fully prepare all the section, because approximately all the sections are equally weighted. Okay, some sections are 15%, other sections are 20%, but you need to have all the section to pass your CPA exam. But if for any reason you have to sit for your CPA exam and you don't have all the needed time to prepare all the section, then at this exceptional case, you need to prioritize and study the section with the highest percentage in the exam. Use Becker materials. As I said, I use Becker materials to prepare both my CPA, to pass both my CPA and CMA certification. It has the best videos. It has the biggest MCQ bank. It has the best essay and the most typical mock exam, which is very, 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 very typical to the real exam. And always, all the exams, mock exams, MCQs, and essays are always up to date and are updated on a monthly and each month or each quarter. Fourth step is track your progress. So always you need to put a target. Let's say by the end of next week, I will finish chapter one. I will get a 82% score on chapter one. I will do 200 MCQ for related to chapter one. After 1 year or after 1 week or when this targeted time, you reach this target time, you need to reassess. Did I achieve my target? Did I overachieve my target? Did I underachieve? If I underachieve, why? I need to commit more. I need to study more. I need to change my studying routine. So always you need to track your progress and always put goals. Put 1 week goal, 2 weeks goal, 1 month goal, 2 months. And if your study plan is 4 months, make sure to commit to it and to finish all your study by the fourth month. As I said previously, you need to stay consistent. You cannot just study for 1 day and skip another 4 or 5 days. Even if you need to sit only for 30 minutes, sit for this 30 minutes, but stay consistent. There's no excuses. We have now Christmas, we have Easter, we have Footer. It's summer, it's winter. My cousin is coming from Canada. There's no excuses. You need to sit and be consistent. And if you have the opportunity to join study groups and forums, of course, you will get experience and you will learn from other groups and others member. And of course, this will be a big added value to your study plan. So, as previously shared, discussed, I will be sharing as last section my personal experience, which will be covering everything I discussed. Plus, I'll be adding some tips not covered in this slide, but it really helped me to achieve my CMA and CPA certification. First, as I said,
This is amazing,
yeah,
Elie. If I may
yeah.
interrupt you a little bit, also give you a chance to take a breath. So this is also very amazing. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed listening to all those explanations. But I did actually get a couple of questions before we move to your personal experience because they are in relation to the topics. So one of the questions was that if somebody is not an accountant, why would they care much about fixed cost, variable costs, or other topics?
Can I reply? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So when you reach managerial level, you need to understand everything. Whatever you do, you're not required to go deep as if you are a chief accountant or finance manager or a pure accounting guy, but you need to have an idea about it. Whatever your field is, you need to understand your cost. What cost you have, even if you are a manager in a retail shop. Don't need to understand your cost, what fixed cost you have. Let's say your rent cost, your payroll cost, and what variable cost you will have. Let's say your electricity, your merchandise, what you're getting. So whatever you are doing on life, you need to understand your cost. So you're not for the CMA exam. You will need to take you need to understand it deeply. But in your life, at least you need to have a general information about cost and how cost work and what could be considered at fixed cost. Which this one you cannot reduce whatever you do, and what is variable cost, which is it vary based on your production and on your day-to-day activity.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for that, Elie. And if I may share, when I was first introduced to management accounting in the management degree, I would like to share something that my instructor shared when she first introduced us to management accounting. She gave us a quick questions. None of us at the time knew much about management accounting, variable costs, or other than that. She said if your company is making $1 million in sales and it has $500,000 in costs, how much would the company cost be when the company makes $2 million in sales? And like, the honest question was like 1 million, obviously. And that's where she introduced us to the concept of fixed costs, variable costs, for example, because she said like out of those 500,000, there were 250 that are fixed cost. And that will not change. Even if you sell 2 millions, 10 millions, 100 million, that fixed cost will not change unless you change something in the company. So it was amazing to learn that, and it gave us a lot of insight towards how to think from a management perspective, and not just like apply the rule of three, like if that's here, that's there.
Yes.
Which where the same applies probably also for other principles like activity-based costing, etc. You mentioned that earlier, and I personally wanted to intervene and add to a point that you mentioned when you were comparing the first section of part one against the first section of part two, where in one you learn how to prepare financial statement, and in the other one you learn how to analyze financial statements. And again, I think it was in one of your classes, or not sure if it was specifically in one of your classes. The instructor was saying that the most important part about the CMA is not becoming an accountant, but asking the right questions to the accounting department in order to make proper business decisions. So I just wanted to add that because it clicked when you were mentioning the difference between that first section in part one and first section in part two. So it's really not about preparing the statement as much as it's about understanding it and asking the right questions about it.
Yes, 100%. And management will be happy with you when you understand this question, or when you elaborate more, or when they are not seeing something in the financial statement and you point this in the financial statement. And really, like all at the end, all the company is based on this financial statement. At the end, like it's all about your P&L and balance sheet, whatever you are, CEO, CFO, and IT, or everything. You need to really understand and just not read. You need to understand what you are reading.
Absolutely, absolutely. Amazing, amazing insights, Elie. And I'm really looking forward to hearing how you actually passed your CMA.
Great. So, to be honest, I will share my personal study journey. Like, first, I did my CPA, then I started studying my CMA. So, as I previously said, first word, the most important word is consistency. For me, in the slide, it's mentioning 3 to 4 months. For me, I did it in 2 months. But how I did it in 2 months, I was studying for 4 hours each day. That was my daily routine. Whatever happened with me, these 4 hours will not change, whatever are the reason. Winter, summer, vacation, Christmas, Fitr, Eid, whatever is, these 4 hours should be fixed in my daily routine. And don't want to tell me how you do it. We are working, we are tired, we are. If you need to get advanced in your life, go to advanced stage in your life, you need to sacrifice. I was working 9 to 6. I finished my work at 7. I finished my work at 6. I reach home 7, eat everything. 7 to 11 are sacrificed to the CMA. You need to do 4 hours. If you cannot do 2 hours per day, but you need to be consistent. And I was Monday to Sunday, it was my same routine. For these 4 hours are more important than eating for me, than sleeping, than doing whatever activity I need to do. You need to sacrifice to get your CMA certification. The way I study, it was first books. So I read the chapter in the book. I take my own note. I always summarize each chapter. Then I go watch Becker video, and I take more notes from Becker video. After I feel I'm comfortable to start MCQs, I solve all the MCQs, and each one, even if I did it right, I take note and I make sure I read the answer, sorry, and I make sure my way of thinking is right, and it wasn't by coincidence that my answer is right. And also I read the other three wrong choice, to understand why they were wrong. So it's not only about getting right answer. It's about making sure that your way of thinking is the right way. That's for MCQ. I did all the MCQ. After I finish one chapter, I move to the second chapter. I don't repeat the same MCQ, let's say after 1 day or 2 day, because you'll be remembering the answers and not understanding the answer. So after I get, let's say, 60 to 65% on MCQs, even if you get better grade, will be get better. Let's say 70, passing score is 73. I move to other chapter. After I go through the second chapter, now I read again my notes related to chapter one, which I got from the book, from videos, from MCQ, and I sit again to do chapter one MCQ. Before getting 82% on all sections, I don't sit for the exam. I know the passing score is 72 to 73, but you need to leave 10% margin for the test day, which it will vary because of stress. Maybe you'll be tired, maybe you will panic, whatever happen. Always keep 10% margin. For the essay, same. I practice essay as much as I can, all the essays, if there's available time. And after I finish all the MCQs, finish chapter one, go chapter two, repeat chapter one, then go to chapter three, repeat chapter one and two MCQs. I mean, then at the end, I will be getting all the chapters and having a score of at least 80 to 82%. I sit for the mock exam. For the mock exam, it should be the same scenario as the real exam. You need to sit in a calm room. There will be no distraction. You remove all your phone, all your nose. You need to all the nose near you. You need to remove all the devices, and you don't stop your exam in the middle. You sit for the full 4 hours, same as you are sitting in the exam. Okay, even if you panic, you didn't know some questions, you feel tired. That's the real scenario. What will happen with you in the exam? You need to sit at least for 6 or 7 mock exam to really be comfortable on the exam day. After you did your MCQs, you got 82%. Essay, you got 82%. Mock exam, same. At least you got 82%. Now you are ready for your exam date. On your exam date, make sure you know very well the location and try to, let's say, if you book your exam on 9 a.m. on a Monday, go same time before 1 week, a Monday, 9 a.m. to same location to make sure that there's no surprises, to that you know the location very well, and always keep 1 hour or 2 hours for emergency. So whatever happened on the road, there's traffic, there's accident, you will reach there. Try to sleep well before the night of the exam. When you go inside the exam, first 5 minutes, I assure you it will be hard. You will be panicking. You will be having your heart will be bumping very fast. First 5 minutes, it's really very usual that you will feel you're not ready. You will feel that your brain is not functioning 100%. That's okay. Just go through first, second, third, fourth question. Try to solve if you know to solve it. If no, give your brain a little time. Your brain needs 5 to 10 minutes to go into the mood of the CPA exam. Flag the questions that you don't know, and when you are already in the mood, and when you finish, you will go back to all these flagged question. Don't spend more than 3 or 4 minutes on a particular question. The questions that you don't know, and you're 100% that you don't know it, don't keep any question empty. If you keep it empty, you have zero probability to have it right. If you choose one of the four answers, you have at least 25% to get it right. Don't panic. Don't look at the watch each 2 3 minutes. You will panic. You will not have time. You will be distracted by the watch ticking, and you will lose your concentration. Each 10 20 question, look at the clock, evaluate your time. Let's say 20 questions should take 30 35 minutes. evaluate your time. You're okay, continue. You're not okay, don't panic. Try to move faster to other questions. So overall, that was my strategy.
That was actually
Hopefully
amazing.
it will be helpful for you and everyone. You will be getting your certification. Thank
Amazing,
you, Najah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, your timing is not off at all. That's absolutely on point because since you have 3 hours for 100 MCQs, that means you have 1.8 minutes per question. So
Yes.
if you're feeling like you're taking 2 or more minutes per question, then you might realize that for the next batch of questions, you might want to move things along. And as you mentioned, Elie, practice makes perfect. So using the MCQs, the question bank in the Becker software, using the mock exams, familiarizing oneself with the question, the structure of the question, the structure of the answers, it makes it easier to identify the correct answer and actually, by elimination, identifying the obviously wrong answers to be able to do that, which will save a lot of time. And, every second count when you have 100
Yeah.
questions and 1.8 minutes per each question.
Most of the time you can eliminate the two choices by the first 5 seconds. So it's always like most of the time you are checking the two choices and always go if you are like it's if they are very similar the two options you have, go more deep into the option. Maybe one word will make difference. Okay,
Yeah.
especially word like all, must, all these tricky words.
Yeah, these are the actual traps they put in the in the
Yeah,
in the answers where you read two answers and they feel like the same. Isn't it the
yeah,
same answer, but just like those three-letter words within that answer that make the difference? And there's actually another tip I always like to put out there. Never miss answering a question. Even if you
yes.
don't know the answer, just tick an answer because there
Yes,
are
that's
no penalties for wrong answers, but you definitely lose the chance of maybe earning a chance point if you just don't
yeah,
answer. So
that's
never
what
skip
I
a question.
mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mentioned. If you don't answer it, you have zero probability to get it right. If you put any answer, at least you have 25% probability to get it right.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Elie, for that. We have covered all the questions that came in. Some of them I answered in typing when they came into the Q&A. Others have been answered live as we went through. So I'm just gonna double check. Does anybody have any additional questions to put out there, guys? Feel free to post them in the chat in the Q&A section, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So while we sit, I just wanted to also add a point, Elie, that a lot of students have told us because of, you mentioned earlier that the software mimics the actual CMA exam. So the software is very similar to the actual exam. A lot of students said that it was a huge time saver because they had friends who actually, not friends, people that they met on exam day that prepared with different providers, and it took them a couple of minutes in the beginning to really like familiarize themselves with the actual exam software or exam platform, while students who prepared with Becker, it was like as if they're using the same platform that they've been using every day for the past 3 4 months.
Yeah, to be honest, like Becker is, I'm. It's my opinion, but I'm 100% sure this is the best software they can get for the CMA preparation, even for the CPA. But since now we're talking about the CMA, so I advise you your success formula is Becker plus Morgan, and you will be having next year your these three letters, in front of your name.
Thank you so much, Elie. So some people in the comments, thank you everyone for your kind words, Najah, Zayan, Leah, everybody else. And I have been getting the same question recurrently. It seems many of our attendees today are financial engineers. And just because I got the question from particularly financial engineers, it does apply to everyone. So whoever wants to know what certification is best for you, it is not typically related to your background. So if you're a financial engineer, it doesn't mean that the CMA is the best for you, or maybe some other certification is the best for you. Choosing your certification and the best certification for your career path depends on where you want your career path to go. So what do you want to be? Elie here, he studied CPA, he studied CMA, he actually has his MBA. So there's not really one certification that is the best for you, but it depends on where you are on your in your career, where you want to be in the future, that a certification can help pave that path for you. So from your words, Elie, for example, how did the CMA and CPA pave different paths for you?
Okay, I want to add to your words first. Today, as I mentioned when I started, I'm currently a senior finance manager, but I started as a junior accountant. You cannot do finance if you don't understand accounting. How you do finance, how you do projections, how you do ratios, how you will do feasibility studies. If you don't understand the numbers, if you don't understand your balance sheet, if you don't understand your P&L, your cash flow, where your cash flow is going. So my base for me, like if I wasn't like expert in accounting, I will never reach like my as position as a finance. Or you could reach a good position in finance, but you need to have this base in accounting. At the end, you are this is what you are working with all day long. You are working with data, and accounting is generating this data for you, but you need to understand it 100% so you can do financial modeling and all the work that financial engineer does. For me, CPA and CMA, CPA is completely different of the CMA. 90% of CMA is what I do on day-to-day job. The CPA, to be honest, it's purely, not purely, but most of it, it's about audit. So if you're not into audit, there's already one part you would not use it. It's about taxation in US. If you're not working in US, you will not be using it. The far part is good, but what I'm trying to explain is like CPA will be using 20% in your day-to-day work. CPA will be using 90%, and the way you look and you do your job after getting your CMA and studying your CPA is completely different than the way you were doing and reading and preparing the numbers that you used to do before getting your CMA.
That was really insightful, Elie. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today, sharing your experience. I hope everybody else enjoyed it as much as I personally did, and looking forward to being with you again on such
Thank you.
informative sessions.
Thank you so much, and hopefully we will see like all the participants in my next sessions. So everyone takes the CMAs. We will be having session, and I will be sharing more of my personal experience as well.
Amazing, amazing. Keep notes of their names, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Just a quick reminder that you will be receiving the link for the recording of this session as well, so you can review it later on over and over again. And we will be providing you with a few additional resources if you're uh, interested in undergoing the CMA or any other similar certification. If you care to have a consultation with any of our program advisors, would be more than happy to assist you. Thank you so much, and have a good evening or good rest of the day.